Hi, hello.
Way too many people, I know, that's intimidating.
I want to welcome all of you. Since we opened OMAI in October, a great deal of work has gotten accomplished with a lot of plans going forth for the future. I'm thrilled to be before you to open a new series called OMAI Talks. This was the brainchild of Markus Laska, who is our Director of Communications, and his communications committee, which includes your co-host today, Sarah Stevens. I can't think of a better person to start us off with this than Christina Scheppelmann. So Markus, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mitch. Yeah, when we started to discuss the idea of the OMAI Talks, it was also thanks to Christina, because she brought up that our business is very global, but it's very different. And there aren't so many persons, they had similar positions in so different countries as Christina.
First of all, thank you very much to all of you for having me here. Let me start a bit about the American system, because you're going to say, well, but we know what the difference is. One is government subsidized, the other one is not. That is true. But what I encounter often with agents is the idea, well, the United States are all the same, that there's privately subsidized, and that's the difference. That is very simplistic, I think. You cannot just say, oh, they're just much more conservative. Yes and no, it depends where you are. In New York, they're not. They're very progressive, and often they have more progressive ideas and plans than you see sometimes also in Europe. Also, what I keep hearing over and over again is that, oh, you have private money, so you have to do what the board members tell you or what the donor tells you. This is the biggest misconception I've keep hearing and ever heard. It's not true. You sometimes in Europe can ignore your audience. I'm not saying you do it, as you can, because your money comes from the government. So you don't have to be that attentive to your audience, though I think you should, because those are the people that fill your theater and buy your tickets ultimately. Right now in the US, the Black Lives Matter movement and the racial equity is extremely present in all the theaters. It's very important that there is a racial equity and social justice plan in the theaters. I think for the European agents, it's helpful to know that, because you might think that this is just blah, blah, and just some politically correct talk. It is not. When you go to certain boards, they're all white and they're all male. And this is something that in the US has to be changed. And there are many women in our businesses, so I think there should be more running companies. When we stop performing, we stop having income. And that's the biggest disaster for us. At least the subsidies continue to come in. The orchestra and the chorus and the ensemble singers in a European company still have a salary. Here they don't. As I said, I've laid off 60% of my staff. It is dramatic and tragic for those employees, but it's the only way how I can ensure to find a way to get through this crisis. And it's a very painful decision.
What is the situation with the orchestra and chorus members? Will you ask them to take the vaccine?
I cannot demand them to take the vaccine. Legally, that puts me in an impossible situation. Personally, I want to keep people safe. I don't want to force anybody to do something and then be the one who caused somebody to get COVID.
I'm asking because what we see around the world for free, me personally, I'm afraid that it's going to hurt us.
If you give everything for free, what I find of greater concern is you devalue the work of the artist. I do know from some audience members that I talked to here that a lot of them really want to come back and see something live and want to pay for it. There is no substitute for the live performance. In those countries, they're extremely smart business people. So just because they don't know anything about theater, you cannot treat them with the arrogance to think, oh no, we know how it's done, so let me tell you, and just put a lot of money into it and it'll work. Just keep an open mind and just be curious. I don't want to call anything worse. It's just, it's different. You know, il mondo è bello perché vario. I mean, every place, every country is different. And so if you don't like what's different, stay where you have your preferences.
What do you hate about agents? What are the mistakes one could make and make you really angry?
I don't hate anything about agents. I've been an agent myself. Rather than yelling at us, which I understand the anger when those things happen, but ask us a little bit why we're doing this. And because it is a collaboration, we need you in order to find the right artist for us and help us to put something together. So no, I don't hate anybody. Hate is a very wasted feeling, in my opinion. It takes a lot of energy to hate.
Yeah.
Thank you all. I hope to see you all again in person. A little tired of being cooped up.
Thank you, Christina.
Applause, Christina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina.
Terze Hälfte.
Adios, Cristina.
Senza schiamazzi, ricca ognuno quel che gli par, ricca ognuno quel che gli par.
Un impegno un'oceana, a costui con me comprato e pretendo che il nuotato debba me caffettuare.
Allora, silenzio, silenzio, silenzio. Io son qui per giudicar. Io da lei sceltavo capo venga a far le sue difese, le legittime pretese io vi vengo a palesar.